All right, Pod on Lansdowne has another guest. Would you believe that, Liam? People still want to come on the show. Crazy, isn't it?
I can't believe it. I'm speechless.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just lucky enough that people are still coming on. That person this time around is our friend Lucy Burge of BetQL Odyssey Sports. Lucy, thanks for coming on to the program. And you were saying off air. I don't believe this for 1 second. I feel like you're pulling our leg. This is your first Red Sox podcast ever.
Yes. Well, hello, gentlemen. This is my first Red Sox podcast ever. No one else has invited me on a Red Sox podcast. So thank you very much for inviting me. I am just so honored to be here. Truly.
Well, whenever the Red Sox win, you tweet out the Red Sox are going to win the World Series.
Ew.
No one has gotten the connection there. I mean, there's 5,000 Red Sox podcasts.
It's true. They're all called Pesky something.
Yeah, right.
Pesky something. Inside, outside.
Pesky's hard
everywhere
pull. Yeah,
around.
that's the one I'm going to start. Pesky's hard pull, and you guys can come on.
Pesky's hard, buddy.
Perfect,
buddy. Legendary in the streets of Boston. Pesky's hard pull.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh, man, speaking
Also,
of the dead.
you and I were at bullpen the night Jackie Bradley Jr. pitched, and I still think about that night very often. And I'm like, that happened. That happened actually. He pitched in a game.
Should have done it more. 100%.
That was Sydney Sweeney night, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah, that was definitely the same. No, that was unfortunately a different night. That was
an infamous evening.
No, that was not because I was going to Cooperstown. That was Ortiz's induction weekend, Sydney Sweeney night.
Yeah, I was saw another bar on that night, and that was also another scene. But that's it all smushes together because there were so many nights like that last year.
I remember being with my dad at a bar that night. Just casually after the long drive over from Mass over to Cooperstown. And we were like, this is just an absolute and utter shit show. At some point, we just kind of steered into the skid. The Duran thing happened in center. That was a whole can of worms. But no, that was a different night. That was another drubbing that the Red Sox received when we were over at bullpen. But again, Lucy, thanks so much for coming on. We're going to be doing our 2023 MLB predictions with you. Jake sent in. Jake not here for this segment. Again, getting his medical treatment. Foot amputated, I think it is, Liam. At least the toe being amputated.
That sounds right. It's something a very complicated,
He'll live, everyone. He'll be fine. It's just he just had to miss this episode. Yeah, right. Yeah,
jinxing it.
I mean, he probably still could have made to the podcast, to be honest, but it's okay.
Many are wondering if he's actually committed.
Some would say.
True.
And Lucy,
for this, but okay.
And Lucy, if this goes well, maybe you just replace Jake. Maybe this is your audition.
Yeah, that's going to happen. I think.
Jake gets Wally pipped. Jake Bledsoe getting replaced.
There you go, exactly.
But again, we have Jake's picks on the side. I'll read them out as we go. Overview for the people listening. What we did here for the predictions. Rookie of the Year for the AL and NL. Cy Young, MVP, division winners and wild card winners. Instead of just going through the entire playoff bracket, that's a bit tedious. ALCS and NLCS picks, and then the World Series champion from there. And then a batshit crazy thing you think will happen this season that is open for interpretation. I already know Jake's. It's a very interesting one, but I'm curious to see what you two both put for that. But let's start at the top. Let's start with AL and NL Rookie of the Years. Lucy, you're the guest. Why don't you start us off there with the baby of the year, as I like to call it.
I would like to pick Bart Harley Jarvis.
Fuck you, Harley Jarvis! I hope you fucking die, Harley Jarvis.
Asshole. So let's see if they can dance. And Tiny Dinky Daffy for AL Rookie of the Year. But she was killed pancaked by a dump truck driver.
Tabby Leaf Ovens.
Yeah. Tabby Leaf Ovens. Yeah, she's the best baby. No, National League Rookie of the Year, Kodai Senga. Going with that, and odds for this. Ghost Fork Bowl odds.
Oh yeah. Sprinkle in the odds in there. I meant to throw that in there, not to cut you off, but yeah.
Yes. Well, odds here. This is what I do. So I do have the odds here for everybody. Plus 800. So you got some value here. AL Rookie of the Year, Yoshi. It's got to be plus 500.
The Yoshi, the Macho Man. I think Jake had the same pick there for Yoshi, and I imagine that's going to be a pretty popular pick around these parts. I'm sure people are going to be sprinkling some money on that one. Jake here, just to double check, this is me stalling, trying to find it. I don't know if you could tell. AL Rookie of the Year, Macho Man. He's got Jordan Walker for NL Rookie of the Year. Now, Lucy, do you have all the odds kind of pulled up here, or is it just for your picks?
I can pull them up.
Perfect. All right.
So odds here.
Jordan Walker's got to be one of the favorites, I'd imagine, right?
It's got to be. I remember seeing that on the odds list. for sure because okay, so
Hell of a
this
player.
is AL. Let's scroll down to NL now. If they could organize. Yeah. Oh well. Okay. He's on the list. He's the favorite. Jordan Walker is favored plus 360.
Plus 360. And the reasoning
Yes.
Jake gave was that he's on a better team than one of the other favorites, Corbin Carroll. For Arizona. But that kid's really, really good too. I would say Corbin Carroll might be the actual better player, but narrative sometimes goes into these things. Either way, both of those players are going to be pretty special, I would say. I hope Senga does well. I have Senga in my Dynasty League. If he does win the Rookie of the Year, that'd be fantastic. Helps bolster my rotation. I've already got Max and Verlander in there too. So let's go Mets is basically what I'm saying.
That's what I mean. They need him. I mean, they need him now.
Closet Mets fan.
That's what I am too, though. Like that's my National League team. So I am absolutely on Kodai Senga to bolster the Mets. They need something. They need somebody. They need a spark of hope besides their roster and their rotation. So I think Kodai Senga can be that for them.
You're a big fan of the ghost forkball, basically, is what I'm hearing.
I love it if it exists.
Yes, it's like the gyro ball.
It's like the gyro ball.
Yeah, there you go, same page.
Well, exactly. The gyro ball song, but it has to exist because have you heard that song with Orsillo and it like puts Orsillo and Remy's call of it into a song and it's like a remix of it. Every time I hear gyro, oh god,
my god.
We'll look that up at some point because that song will be stuck in your head for weeks. And it's just like spliced in with Orsillo being like, Jerry, I think it's and then like they have some like techno guy being like gyro ball. It's the worst song you've ever heard in your life, but it's catchy as hell.
Maybe we end the podcast with that if there's no royalty fees we have to pay for it or something like that. It's like I don't know if you either of you remember DJ Steve Porter from Sports Center?
Yeah. Oh my god, the best. Oh, he did the end of the year, the Christmas one with all the press conferences of the. Oh my, I had that on my iPod. Like
Rome wasn't built in one day, like that. Right, yeah. the Tebow one was the best. He's a baller. He's a gamer. He's a playmaker and a shot caller. Steve, me and my buddies were talking about DJ Steve Porter the other day, so that's why he was top of the noggin there for me.
He's a genius.
That's Liam. That's like a peak early 2010s reference.
2011 or so, right?
That really was.
Yeah, right in that wheelhouse.
Yep, absolutely.
I remember one, Liam, when they did like a June 2012 review, and it was right after LeBron won the title, and it was built on him saying it's about damn time, but they would always cut out damn time, and they'd add a different. And I remember that's when Spain won the Euro soccer tournament too. So I think it was Ian Dark or whoever it was on the call, one of those British guys, Martin Tyler. It goes LeBron going, it's about the swagger of Spain. I remember that. That's on the top of my head as well. So some people may have no idea what's that, Lucy?
Always on the top of the dome, DJ Steve Porter.
I don't think there's got to be some people who have no idea what the hell we're talking about with this.
I haven't heard that name in years.
Yeah, same. But right away, I go right to that like Christmas song of like all the coaches, and it's to Christmas music, and it's just
unlocked memories.
It really is unlocked memories.
It's what we do here. It's what we do here.
Liam, Rookie of the Year. Who you got?
So AL, I think it comes as no surprise. I'm also going Yoshi. And we've already mentioned him, NL, but Corbin Carroll. I was originally going Jordan Walker, so I'm happy I switched it last minute earlier today. I got Corbin Carroll and Yoshi. I think everyday players, exciting outfielders. I feel like Yoshi's kind of cheating since he's already kind of a professional, but we'll take it.
That's plus 500 for Yoshi there, according to DraftKings on that, and then Corbin Carroll plus 400.
400, yeah. So you get a little value there. His odds are a little bit longer than Jordan Walker's, so it's a good pick.
Lucy, you want to talk about longer odds here? This I genuinely believe. American League Rookie of the Year, going off the beaten path here. Plus 1,300, Oscar Colas. White Sox, starting right fielder, made the team. Remember the name. Kid's really, really good. Not going to swipe a ton of bags, but if he gets on base at a fair enough of a clip, he's got the power. He's got a nice stroke. And he's also going to be in a pretty solid enough of a lineup to maybe get some counting stats if he's higher enough in the order. Really like the kid. I believe he's out of Cuba, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of Cuban players on the White Sox team. I mean, you look at Lou Bob. And just in their organizational history, they have a ton of Cuban players. But Colas, really, really dig him. Solid player. And then also a bit of longer odds, but has the opportunity here. You want to talk about guys on good teams. LA Dodgers, there's an opportunity for Miguel Vargas, plus 700. Probably going to be starting second base for them with Gavin Lux now out. I think they're going to be shifting, what's his name there? shortstop. I forget his name off the top of my head, but they're going to be playing him at short, probably Vargas.
Are you
Over
thinking
at second.
Rojas?
Rojas, thank you. Yeah, Miguel Rojas, thank you very much. But Miguel Vargas, again, fantastic supporting cast around him. Really special player. Came up a bit, struggled, I think, a little bit, if memory serves correctly, when he got his cup of coffee last year. But I think the Dodgers are really high on him. Dodgers always know how to produce young talent. They have a fantastic farm system. So I don't think that's a bad bet at all. Plus 700 on Vargas and 1,300 on Colas if you wanna, sprinkle a little 5 or 10 piece on that and get some bigger odds on that.
1,000%.
Fitz, that's bold of you, betting on anyone associated with the White Sox organization.
I keep eating that garbage, man. I don't know what it is about the Chicago White Sox that have a trance on me.
I'm fully out.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll keep drinking that garbage. Gotta say, no picks for Gunnar. No picks for Gunnar from the group here. Gunnar Henderson.
I thought about it, but my heart
too easy of
wanted
a
Yoshi.
pick. Too easy.
Yeah,
Too
it's
easy.
a simp pick.
Yeah, exactly. Have a little fun with this. That's
Yeah.
what I say. Don't pick all chalk. That's not fun.
Exactly.
So let's move on here. Cy Young Award winners for the American League and National League. Lucy, again, we'll start with you. Who you got?
Okay, American League Cy Young. I can go with none other than Shohei Ohtani. It might be World Baseball Classic bias, but this guy is starting off the season with a bang. He's already got momentum coming into this season. I think he'll be even better than last year, and he's playing for he wants to get out of the Angels. He wants to go anywhere else where he can win a World Series.
Can't blame him.
Right. So he knows that. He knows everybody's watching. He knows he's the greatest baseball player who's ever lived. So now there's a plane flying over me. I don't know if that is too loud, but so he wants to play as better than he did last year or whatever. I don't know. He just wants to, he knows that people are watching. So plus 1,200 AL Cy Young Shohei Ohtani.
Not bad odds there for Ohtani. Again, you talk about on a rate basis, one of the best pitchers in baseball. I don't hate the pick there. The one thing I would say about Ohtani's case for Cy Young, they do a 6-man rotation, don't they?
Yes.
So the one thing that would maybe give me a little bit of pause, and again, on a rate basis, there's not many guys I'd rather have than Ohtani. It's just, is there going to be enough volume there in terms of his pitching? Is he going to get over 170 innings or so? I'm not sure. He might, but it's certainly
he
possible.
does, and he will win the AL Cy Young.
Yeah, if he gets around 180 innings in that world, he'll be right in the thick of it because again, he is that good. NL on the flip side. Justin
Verlander, going back to the Mets here,
plus
600. So it'll be DeGrom who when it comes to this, because I think Verlander is really going to step it up too for the Mets. I never doubt Verlander. He's the Tom Brady of baseball. Love it. Plus 600.
Jake agrees with you on the Mets. He's going Max. He's going with Max Scherzer. He's motivated after the end of last year is his reasoning behind Scherzer. Don't hate either of those picks either because, again, got both of those guys on my dynasty team. So if they went 1-2 in the Cy Young, I'm not going to be complaining. You're not going to hear any complaints from me. He went with Alek Manoah as well. Is it Alex or Alec? I should probably know that.
I think it's
Alec with a K, right?
Alec. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
like
Alec.
Murdoch.
Yes. Yeah.
Murdoch murders.
One singular.
Alex, but it's spelled Alex.
One singular Alec. Alek Manoah for the AL Cy Young. Jake says, I hate him, but he is good. And it's true. Manoah does have that dog in him. Manoah, third best odds on DraftKings to win the Cy Young, plus 800. So you still get a nice little chunk of change if that does hit. Behind just Cole at 650, plus 650, and DeGrom at plus 550. I wouldn't touch DeGrom if I was a betting man. I don't really bet myself, but if I were, I would not touch DeGrom because, again, no one is better than him when he is healthy.
Exactly.
But that's a big qualifier. That's the thing, and also, for reference, Verlander plus 600, Scherzer plus 800 there. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Liam, who you riding with for the Cy Young Awards this year?
So I'll start NL, and similar to an Ohtani situation here. It's a contract year for this gentleman, kind of in a big market. I mean, I guess, he's in a big market. But Aaron Nola, that's what I'm saying.
Me too, dude. I have Nola.
Yeah. So, contract
Value
year.
there too.
Yeah.
Plus 1,300.
Phillies are going to be good again.
Here's the thing
So-
with Nola. Again, he one of the better pitchers in baseball, but again, it comes back to the volume standpoint. That dude is a horse. He's going to give you at least 180 innings. You saw from Sandy Alcantara last year. Now, I understand he's a bit of an anomaly. He had like
He's a freak.
225 innings or something like
Wild.
something ridiculous, right? And he was great, throughout that, so that adds to the candidacy. But for a lot of guys, I mean, if they have that volume, if they have that stamp, that's a huge argument for their candidacy for Cy Young. And I think easily you can set your watch to at least like 185 innings for Nola, if not more. I think he's passed 200 a couple times over the last 4 or 5 years. If anybody has a chance to get 200 plus innings of really quality pitching, it's Aaron Nola. So that's why I went with him, plus 1,200 too, which again, value. Liam, your American League.
My American League. So I'm taking my own advice and I'm staying away from the White Sox. Last year I picked Giolito. That
Are you
didn't
picking
go well.
Giolito this year?
No, but his name does start with a G, and I like where Jake's head is at with Alek Manoah. I'm taking his teammate Kevin Gosman for American League Cy
Yes.
Young. So
Okay.
I'm
Took his
trying to go with
K-prop
like
a lot
the
last
sort of sneaky, sort of the sneaky picks. I'm laying in the weeds, but I'm high on the Blue Jays, which we can talk about in a little bit.
Yeah, I think we'll be discussing the Blue Jays in a little bit as well. Gosman, one of the more underrated pitchers in all of baseball. A really big fan of his game, and plus 1,600 for him if you're curious. Already mentioned that I had Nola in there. For the American League, I'm going to go with the guy, and I know this is kind of counterintuitive with what I just said about volume, so take this with a grain of salt. This guy had the inside track to win the American League Cy Young this year for about half, 2/3 of the year or so, whereabouts into like August or so, I would say. Then the wheels sort of fell off. If Shane McClanahan stays healthy, I think it might be his award to lose. And McClanahan plus 1,200, I think he should probably be plus 900, right around there with Bieber, plus 950.
That's a great one.
McClanahan's really, really good, man. He's really good. And again, he was the front runner for much of the year. Got hurt, and then he had some tough outings towards the end of the year, and then that's kind of when, it was Cease and Verlander for a bit, then Verlander just, put on the afterburners and won the award. But if McClanahan can put it all together for a year, there's not many better options to potentially win the award. If you want a sneaky bet as well, Christian Javier plus 1,800. That guy is kind of like
I like
Spencer
that.
Strider light. So, and again, Spencer Strider might be a good pick too. Really like
That's a
Spencer
good one,
Strider.
too. You know what, though? McClanahan might be my head pick, and my heart pick is Ohtani. So if I'm
There you
betting with my head, McClanahan. Betting with my
Yeah.
heart, Shohei Ohtani, the king.
But if it hits on the heart, it's gonna be all the more
It's
sweeter.
true. You
know?
sprinkle a little on each. And then it'll be just super sweet.
Just a little bit, just as a treat.
Yeah.
American League and National League MVP, Lucy. Are you gonna go Shohei for AL MVP here?
Absolutely.
Can't
Gotta
blame
be.
you.
Gotta be. He's gotta be. He's gonna be MVP of baseball player of all time. That's what he should be. They should name the award after him.
Plus 190 for
and then
that.
give it to him. And then NL MVP, I have a tough time with. What do you guys think? Because that's the one I have a tough time figuring out who I'm going to take for that.
Well,
Ooh,
I'll tell
who
you
did
who
Jake
Jake
have?
picked. Jake, American League MVP, Ohtani, parentheses, come on now, is what he said.
Right.
NL MVP, Trey Turner. He said, Trey
Okay.
Turner.
Oh, I like that.
Said,
I
I
like
think-
that.
Trey
I think-
Turner, who, as I was sitting at the airport with my brother on our way to Fort Myers, and we were waiting to go down and to fly down, and that's when Justin Turner got hit in the face. My brother was watching the game on his phone, and he said, "Oh, Trey Turner just got hit in the face," and I was like, "What? Wait, what are you watching?" And he was like, "Trey Turner," and I was like, "You mean Justin Turner?" So I thought for a second, Trey Turner just got hit in the face. So every time I hear Trey Turner now, I'm like, "Oh, he's not Justin Turner."
He's not big.
Idiot.
He's not
Idiot.
stupid. Yeah, he's not Tormund from Game of Thrones. Jake said, I think he's going to go stupid in the top of that lineup. He's Captain America as well, so he might be riding the hot
Yeah,
streak.
this is true.
I
This
mean,
is true.
He came back from the tournament and he's still hitting bombs like every day. So
Philly's going to need him without Harper for a bit too. I understand the rest of the line. It's not a bad lineup without Bryce Harper, but he's the heart of that team. Basically. So when you throw Turner in there, they're definitely going to need him going forward. But I don't think that's a bad play there. Trey Turner at plus 800 according to DraftKings, behind just Juan Soto at plus
Soto.
550
Ooh.
to win there.
Ronald Acuna Jr. That's who I would take.
Ronnie's my pick as well.
I
Ronnie's
see
my
that
pick.
plus 850 here. That's what I would go with.
Another year removed off the ACL, I think. Still has the great eye at the plate. Going to be running a bit more now that, again, A, the knee is going to be presumably healthier, and B, there's bigger bags. Great team around him. He's going to have, the narrative of a good record. He's going to have good counting stats. If he can get around 35 home runs, I think everything could fall into place for him. The power wasn't totally there for him in terms of counting numbers, but he also missed a lot of time to start last year, trying to rehab the injury. So if Ronnie's back to being Ronnie, he's one of the best players in baseball. So I would ride with Acuna there as well. I agree with you on that.
Love that one.
Liam, what do you think? And then I'll go into my AL one. I have an explanation for it.
So my AL, for narrative purposes, I'm taking Trout. So Ohtani got the best of him in the World Baseball Classic.
Fishman.
And Ohtani will absolutely probably finish top 3 at the very least in terms of MVP voting. So I'm giving Trout the nod here just so he can get one back on his teammate there. So
plus
NL
450
MVP,
for Fishman.
I'm not counting out the Fishman. So
That's not bad.
I mean, he still had an insane season last year, and I mean,
yeah,
I know
he played like 110 games and had 40 home runs, right?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
He's absurd. But I think people are like, he's on the other side of 30, so maybe.
Yeah, and he's still a fucking monster. What's the point?
Yeah, so he'll be fine.
If Julio Rodriguez doesn't break out and have an enormous breakout season, who I am very high on this season, Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah, J-Rod's awesome, 100%.
Yeah.
Who do you have for NL, Liam?
I have a troublemaker, and we haven't seen him in a minute. Tatis Jr. His long-awaited return.
Another dynasty baby boy of mine.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
So I mean, it's a lot like the Acuna situation. Like, I feel like we've kind of forgotten how dynamic a player he is.
He's so
for all the
goddamn
stuff
good, man.
So good.
For all the
There
stuff
are
that's
so
happened
many
off the
names.
field.
So many names here where it's like they could all win this. Like,
Right.
look at Austin Riley. Like, my God, this is
Great hitter. Broke out last. Many
Lot
are
of
saying it
guys
hard to
can
say.
break
You're
out.
hearing it more and more that it's hard to say who's going to win this.
it just depends. It all depends. But it's just like the crop. What a crop is what I would say. Look at this.
To remind you about the guy we're talking about here with Fernando Tatis Jr. Again, it's been a while since we saw him, 2021. Third in MVP voting when this happened. 166 OPS plus. 975 OPS. Got on base at a 364 clip with 42 homers, 25 steals. It's actually a bit lower than I thought it was going to be, but again, he could be running wild now with the new rules. 99 runs, 97 RBI towards the top of the lineup. I don't know if he was hitting third there. He was probably hitting first or second there. Guy's a freak. 6'11" slugging. This guy is so incredibly good. Hopefully he's healthy now. I mean, the shoulder thing hopefully has resolved itself. He's got enough time to rehab that. The wrist, I'm more nervous about the wrist with him because that's something that can really derail you as a hitter. Look at Nomar. But he got surgery on that. He's had enough time to rehab that. He's going to get a couple more weeks to rest up, train up, and hit the ground running, probably hitting leadoff for a World Series contender. So I don't think the first couple weeks, him missing the season, is necessarily going to hurt him, Liam. So I love that pick. Tatis there, plus 1,000. I freaking love him. When the news of him came out, like, oh, he's ruined his legacy. Shut up. This guy's awesome.
No,
this guy is one of the faces of baseball. He freaking rules.
He only played like a year and a half. Like, no, there's still tons of baseball.
This will be part of his resume. Everyone will remember. No, this guy could be on a Hall of Fame trajectory. He's an idiot. He's a dum-dum, 100%. Hopefully he did some growing up over the last year or so. Hopefully he learned from his mistakes. And if he's healthy again, we're just going to go back to seeing this uber star athlete, this incredible baseball, this incredible specimen of a player, fucking go off. I can't wait to watch Tatis again.
It's such a shame that he won't be playing shortstop. As much as I love Xander, Tatis at shortstop was, for lack of a better word, Fitz, electric.
Oh no, don't say it. Oh, God damn it.
So,
Okay,
but no,
this is
I mean,
a
it's
word
like,
that I find. Okay, electric is a word I find myself saying. Oh, if I get into a groove of saying it all the time, and then I hate myself for it, and I'm like, stop saying it. It's like, people say it all the time.
it's the new like or
leaning on this.
Yeah, it's a buffer word at this point.
Yes, total buffer.
There's
Oh my God,
so
don't
many. There's so many other adjectives. Ask J.K. Rowling because she always uses adjectives. She's never seen an adjective she doesn't like. So ask her for something outside of than just electric. Because baseball fans in media, you name it, they love using that word. I don't know what it is, but they always do.
Yeah, it's true. Could also go with flames.
Yeah, so
I'm saying that.
Flames, yeah.
The game is flames.
That's a good one.
Fire flames.
But no, I saw on Twitter like Tatis was throwing one in from the outfield and showed off like the cannon the other day.
He's got a fucking
someone
laser.
put it on Twitter. Someone put it on Twitter. They're like, why is Xander Bogaerts playing shortstop for them? But hey, team's loaded. It's a good problem to have.
And again, I'm of the belief that Xander's a better defender than people give him credit for, and he himself has a strong one too.
Oh yeah.
But again, he's not Carlos Correa defensively, but he doesn't have to be. But again, I feel like I've said that however many times on this program.
We know Xander. We love Xander.
That's right. I'm gonna ride. Break my heart. That's why I'm trying to change the topic here. I don't want to start crying on the podcast. So I'm riding with Acuna for NL MVP. And maybe we transition into our batshit crazy thing you think will happen with this point. I want it on the record. If he stays in LA, Shohei Ohtani will be the MVP.
Okay.
I am picking Yordan Alvarez to win the American League MVP because that transitions into my batshit crazy thing I think will happen. Shohei Ohtani will be traded at the deadline to the New York Mets.
Ooh,
it's going to happen.
I don't hate it because
it's going to happen.
If it was the Red Sox or the Mets, the only scenario in which I would like it, because if it's obviously the Yankees, that's bad, but I don't know if that would be. But the Mets, I don't hate for Shohei. I kind of like it.
I would
and
love
I like
to see him on the East Coast.
For the Mets, yes.
Angels fumbling the bag to start the year by the All-Star break. They're out of it by like 10 games, 10, 12 games already. They're behind Seattle in the wild card race. They don't have the horse. Hopefully Trout doesn't get hurt, but if he does, that could be like, he's got the back issue. It's not an impossibility here. The pitching doesn't pan out the way that they thought it would. The writing's on the wall that he's gone. They've got to recoup something because Shohei Ohtani's not going to be on the team in 6 months by the time July rolls around.
Right. And here's the benefit. If he's on the East Coast, then we can watch him play.
Exactly. We don't have to stay up until 10 o'clock.
Steve Cohen,
Steve Cohen
is a decade of Trout at 10 p.m. has destroyed me.
That's the reason that I'm convinced that's the reason he is not actually the face of baseball, and he and Shohei are not, because no one can watch him out here because we're all in bed.
It's very
even true. Shohei is transcending that at this point. But
this is true.
Point is, Steve Cohen, whether or not he trades from beforehand or it gets to free agency, he just feels like the guy that hell or high water he is going to be adding Shohei Ohtani to the New York Mets. Literally a blank check. You fill it out, Shohei. That's just the guy that Uncle Stevie is. To get first dibs at the Ohtani signing, this Halley's Comet of a player, once in even more than a generation, multi-generation sort of a guy, I don't think that idea should be discounted. And again, this is probably improbable, but it's a fun little thought exercise. That's why I threw it in there. I think they would throw the kitchen sink and then some in a package for Ohtani. You just saw Juan Soto go for a ton, but now the Padres just have Juan Soto now. He has one of the best young players in baseball is just there with Tatis and Bogarts and Machado, you name it.
That absolutely is a Steve Cohen thing to do.
It would be a massive. I mean, you got to think Brett Beatty gone, Francisco Alvarez gone, maybe like David Peterson in addition as just a throw-in addition to other prospects that have gone. I don't know what the trade package for Ohtani looks like. I don't even know if it exists.
It exists,
right?
We'll give you the naming rights to our team.
What indication has Ohtani given that he's like, oh yeah, I'll resign in LA?
Like zero, like the opposite.
Especially if they flounder again, even if they're only just like 500 at best. If there's a real chance they finish 4th in that division. Texas could jump them.
Oh, easily.
I think
he's even said like he wants to go to a team that is going to win a World Series, shading the Angels and being like, I'm not coming back here because he knows that they're not going to win one.
Dodgers are a possibility too. He could stay out there, and if he hits free agency, I think the Giants might be a sleeping giant. No pun intended. swear there was no pun intended there, but it ended up working out.
Like,
But after the embarrassment of missing out on Correa and Judge, they may just say fuck it and go balls to the wall for him.
They got the money.
yeah.
Point is to have this opportunity to sign this once in a gazillion player, to have first crack at that, I think that's valuable. And I think the Mets just might be savvy enough to realize that and just throw the kitchen sink at him, just to secure that for their postseason run, presumably this year and beyond. So that's my crazy prediction. And in turn, Yordan Alvarez will be the American League MVP because he fucking rakes. He's going to get the counting numbers. One of the best hitters in baseball. Guy is a tank. He's my AL MVP pick if I was making it on the presumption that Ohtani switches leagues. So, kind of a 2-1 there for you.
I like that.
They're very layered. A lot of layers, Fitz.
Yeah, put on the tinfoil hat. Listen here.
Galaxy brain prediction.
Forward, right? Yeah, right. The red glowing eyes meme look there. So, Yordan Alvarez, by the way, if you want to ride with me on this conspiracy theories, plus 1,100 on DraftKings. Lucy, let's transition to there. Let's make this the halfway point before we get into the division winners and the postseason playout. A batshit crazy thing you think will happen in this 2023 MLB season. Again, run wild with this.
Yeah. So my batshit crazy thing also connects. I have a whole postseason narrative, so it connects to all of that.
Ooh.
So I could do my picks relating to that as I go through my postseason.
So do you want to? So do you want to put a pin in your batshit crazy thing at that point, so it all kind of comes together at once?
Sure.
You know, we all fall.
Sure.
Okay,
Because it
all
does come together at the end.
Okay, all right. So keep that in the back of your mind.
Okay.
Jake's is way less crazy. There's no, Charlie Kelly pointing at the board like Pepe Sylvia or anything with him, like Lucy and I looks like. His batshit crazy thing is that Chris Sale will get Cy Young votes, and I love to hear that. You know?
Oh, I thought it was going to be have over 10 starts.
Yeah, I mean, that's a prerequisite to it. You know, I mean, he's going to have to.
I mean, I think it's yeah. Well, that's what that means, is that he had it comes with the notion that he is going to stay healthy, which can be seen as crazy based on what has happened. But this could be the polar opposite of last year, and he could not get hurt at all versus getting hurt in every way.
And there were such fluky injuries. Like the rib thing is fine. Doesn't worry me anymore. The comebacker, it's just bad luck. The bike, it's just, these aren't like recurring elbow or shoulder issues. You know what I mean? These he should be fine off of Tommy John. So I see the vision. I see what Jake's got going there. Very funny though. Here are some of the names that DraftKings has listed for odds over Chris Sale. Because I don't know, I can't see it. I'm doing Control F, SALE. 0 out of 0 results. He's not on this list for the Cy Young. Some guys that they have over him, though. Could I interest you in a plus 8,000 on Martin Perez, Liam? Because he's listed. Absolutely. He's posted. How about plus 9,000 on Marco Gonzalez? Huh?
That's easy money right there.
Does plus 8,000 on Sonny Gray tickle your fancy? Yes! Potentially, Lucy, right?
I'm going to put $10 on that right now.
I forgot it's 2014 and Sonny Gray is posted on there.
He's cool now.
How about this one? Plus 7,000 for Brian Bayo.
Yes! Bayo season.
Take it all day.
Forget Bayo day.
There's one on here. Brady Singer plus 5,000. Are you kidding me? That's insulting considering a guy who's also at plus 9,000. Red Sox legend Jeffrey Springs with the Rays, really good pitcher. He was fantastic last year.
He got the bag too.
Plus 9,000 for him is so disrespectful.
What if he gets votes? That could be a crazy.
I could see it. If Lucas Giolito is plus 3,500, and that guy might be cooked, Giolito. He might be cooked. If he's plus 3,500 and Springs is plus 9,000, I don't know, man. I don't know. Jeffrey Springs is really, really good. I just wanted to point that out there. But no, I don't know if someone else has Sale listed, but my source here, nothing on Sale. So
maybe the sports books are like, let's wait a bit. Let's just see if he makes it through a start, and then just
maybe
April 1st.
Maybe Jake's got a plus $200,000 bet. It'll slip on him there, and he could He could pay for all podcast expenses going forward if that hits. So
Yeah.
that is Jake's batshit crazy prediction. Liam, what do you got here? Do you have like sort of a deep dive iceberg here, or is it just straightforward?
It's very straightforward. It's very petty. It may ruffle some feathers of a certain fan base. The Yankees will finish in last place in the American League East. The first last place finish since 1990. It'll be their first last place finish.
Oh baby, let's talk about it.
I love that. So this kind of goes along with my AL East pick because I have the Blue Jays to win the AL East.
As do I.
Love it because
Same.
that was kind of process of elimination where I'm like, I don't want the Orioles to win it because I don't think they will, but also their fans have been very annoying on Twitter. So I'm like, no, I don't want the Orioles to win this. The Yankees, of course, I don't want to win this. The Red Sox, I don't think feasibly could do it. So Blue Jays, and the Rays, I guess I'm like, maybe not. But
Rays annoy me.
Right. So I love that. I love the Yankees to finish last. Love it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like we saw it last year. Outside of Judge, like their lineup does nothing for me.
Right. And they didn't improve or anything.
No, I mean they added Rodon, who's already banged up.
He should be coming back early enough, though. I think he's only going to miss like 1 or 2 times through the rotation.
But at the same time, Cole doesn't impress us. Nestor's great. Love the guy, but I mean he's not ace material. Like that's a fine one too.
Yeah, is there some regression in there for Nasty? Maybe not. He may just be this kind of guy now.
Is Severino going to put together a full season?
Isn't he banged up? Didn't he just have something?
Yeah, exactly. He's always a question mark. So between the rotation and the lineup, like Judge is great.
Well, Susan. Well.
That's not heavy. That's realistic because last year, remember, just kind of sitting back and being like, "Wait, the Yankees aren't that good," and realizing
they got rolled.
Yeah, this is not a good team. Why are the optics telling us? Well, of course, we know why the optics are telling us they're a good team because they're in New York, but they're not that good. Not that good. I like it.
Our apologies to Emily Nyman for that, but also not really. I'm sorry. I love that prediction. Interesting to see what Volpe will do, too. And then Volpe is one of the favorites for the AL Rookie of the Year now as well. And if Peraza ends up playing full-time, I'm very curious to see when Judgment Day for Josh Donaldson is, because I don't know if he's long for the Yankees world. I don't know if he's going to be in that lineup full-time. But I mean, they're going to need a lot of things to go their way to get over that hump. Just because, I mean, Houston's a wagon, first of all. And, again,
I just feel like so many I feel like people are just assuming they're gonna win the East. Like everywhere I see, the Yankees are winning
they're favored.
Not on this program, Bucker.
Not here. Not on Lansdowne.
-130 to win it. So it's just stupid. Like there's no contest there, but it's like I don't think so. I think those odds are going to shift quite a bit when the season starts.
So we all have Blue Jays winning the American League East. Very complete team, very well-rounded team. The
+200.
AL Central. Who do we got?
Me. I have the Guardians.
Guardians?
+130. I love the Guardians. I cannot root against Terry Francona.
J-Ram could win AL MVP too. J-Ram's fucking awesome.
Exactly. So I like the Guardians stick out to me, and I'm always like, you know what? It's going to be. I like them a lot.
Got to take on the Guardians in a little bit, but I want to hear Liam. Who do you got in the Central?
I am. I'm also taking the Guardians.
Yes.
Jake is going with the Guardians.
I had no idea they were the youngest team in the league until the playoffs last year. Like that's insane to me.
Yeah, so, it's interesting what they're building.
They're cooking.
Oscar Gonzalez
what are the Guardians cooking?
Jimenez just got a bag today. I don't know how much it was for, but he got a bag. Rosario had a good year. So, again, I'm
a good lineup. They added Josh Bell.
Yeah.
Yep. I forgot they added Bell, but he's such a streaky hitter though. He's on and off again. He looks like the best hitter in the world for a month, valuable. And then the next month he looks like he's never seen a bat before. I mean, the garbage man. White Sox are going to win the Central.
No, you're not.
You're
kidding.
The fucking
you're
garbage.
Kidding.
Oh no! Don't do it.
I mean, the garbage. The lineup there is good enough, and they got Tony out. Maybe he was the poison there in the clubhouse. You know, maybe he was the toxicity. Maybe just get him out, and they start vibing from there. Not bad pitching. solid enough of a lineup. And I gotta say, I'll just say it outright, I don't think Cleveland makes the playoffs.
Really?
They're a solid team. I don't think they make the playoffs. No,
Oh.
I think a
I
lot of
only
their
think one team from the Central is making the playoffs.
Yeah,
and
as
it's going
to-
to be the division winner.
yeah, it's the weakest division of the three.
Pretty bad.
Cleveland's not a bad team, and they have solid pitching. And Clase is nasty out of the bullpen. Shane Bieber, obviously very good. I feel like a lot of the guys in that lineup overachieved last year. I don't know if Rosario is going to take another step forward. I don't know if Jimenez is going to take another step forward. J-Ram's nasty. I'm not worried about him. Josh Bell's streaky. I don't know if they'll have the horses to hang with them. Again, they'll be in the mix for a wild card spot, I think, but I don't know. You got to make a cut at some point, and the other teams I have in the playoff race, which we'll go through, I just like them a little bit more. So shout out to Tito, shout out to the fighting Franconas, but
Hell yeah.
I don't know if it's going to happen this year.
See, I was waffling between the Twins and Guardians. I don't even consider the White Sox anymore. Fitz, I'm sorry. No,
I'm drinking that garbage, man.
just keeps going back to the dumpster.
Liam
But, hey,
Tennessee
I
is very
respect
upset with me. That's okay.
Not a problem.
Yeah, that one could blow up in my fucking face. I had them winning the World Series last year. Look how that went. So, I'm not even going to waste time on the AL West. Houston.
Should I have it? Oh, well.
Liam's like the.
AL West, I have the Mariners. I really like the Mariners.
That's crazier than the White Sox one. That's
I have
absurd!
Seattle too.
oh,
I really like the Mariners.
you guys are
Big
nuts.
Dumper to not win? Are you kidding? No,
Big Dumper is going to
The
get on
good
base
vibes.
at like a 210 clip. That's it.
I
He's
think the Mariners have such good vibes. I am so in on the Mariners.
Cal Riley is Willie Mopena. I love Willie Mopena, but that's what he is. He power, and he's going to strike out like 80% of the time.
That's what you should put out.
Exactly, right? I love Big Dumper, but come on now.
I like them to win it.
You like you're a believer in the Jared Kelnick resurrection?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fine. No, I really like the energy of the Mariners this season.
Oh, they're a
so
fun
I'm-
as hell team. They're
it's
really
really
fun.
and I want to root for them. So I'm rooting for them to actually win something.
What's Luis? Robbie Ray has better odds than Luis Castillo, just barely, but still better odds to win
That's
the Cy
kinda
Young.
crazy.
That makes
Castillo,
sense.
Castillo's the best pitcher.
Robbie Ray though, I took a lot of his K props last year, and he hit the over.
Oh, he'll strike out a ton,
and
but then
the
he allows himself up to hard contact a ton. Looks great, mighty good in them pants though. To be fair,
real good.
They're always
Real
tight.
good. Best butt. Oh, I was gonna say something about who has the best butt because I sat behind him when he was on deck, but that was Andrew Bogarts, and I didn't want to bring that up again. He had a great butt, but you know,
Strider's got a nice butt. He's got those big, thick thighs. You know,
Yes.
I'm talking Spencer Strider, the mustache now too. You know, like Top Gun look.
Hell yeah.
Shout out Spencer Strider. Jake and I are going with the Astros. I did we not just watch what happened last year? I understand. You know, they don't have Verlander anymore. I understand that, but and they're going to be out. They're going to be without Altuve for a little bit, but they're the Houston Astros, man. They're going to win that division.
Boring.
well,
live a
this
little.
is actually funny.
Live a
because
little.
I just picked the White Sox to win the Central, dude. I just lived a little for you.
what a snooze! My God, I had the Astros written down here, and I crossed them off, and I was like, you know what, Mariners.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
So I mean that, but
They
then
get
I
their City
thought,
Connects this year too.
there you go. I
know,
literally,
it's
well,
over.
yeah, I literally thought Astros is too boring of a pick. I have to pick the Mariners.
Astros already have their City Connects, and they're very good. The Space City one, those are
I
very
do like
nice
the Space
sets.
City ones.
Those are nice. I like those a lot.
Lucy, AL wildcards. 1, 2,
Okay.
3. Who do we got?
Well, I like the Red Sox to win. This goes into my narrative. So I'll just say,
Okay, let's
I like
hear
the
it.
Red Sox to win. They will be the wild card team because I think they're going to win 87 games this season. I don't think they're going to outright make the playoffs, but they will be the wild card team. They'll win the wild card and then continue with that. That's my
Put
pick
it on ice for now. There it is.
there for now.
So Red Sox.
And then NL wild card, I like the Mets. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs outright, but I think they will be the wild card team and they will win that. And then there we go.
Are you saying NL there?
Yeah.
Oh,
NL wild card.
no. There's 3 wildcards. Right? Yeah, 3
Yes.
wildcards.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Wait.
I was saying the American League wildcard teams.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so I'm trying to think of who else I didn't. I don't know. Come back to me on that one.
Okay, fair enough. Jake's AL wildcard teams here, pulling it up. Yankees, Mariners, and he's also going with the Red Sox. He put a smiley face at the end of the Red Sox one. Very nice.
Like that.
Very
Like
nice.
that.
Jake.
Very nice. Very nice.
Liam, your wild cards.
Adorable. I have Houston, Boston, and Baltimore.
I hate to be the Grinch. Baltimore, interesting pick there. Do you think they make that jump? I hate to be the Grinch here, guys. Red Sox
You don't have the Sox making the playoffs.
No!
Stop
I hate it. I'm sorry. I think they go 80 and 82. I think there's a vibe improvement, and I think there's a process improvement this year. Your wild card teams this year for the American League are going to be the Yankees, the Rays, and the Mariners. That's what I'm going with. Bit of shock from last year. I understand. Just disappointed. That's fair.
I'm just disappointed.
And you know what? If the Red Sox do make the playoffs, yell at me. Throw tomatoes at me. That's fine. It will. Rising tide lifts all boats in that situation. Everyone can make fun of me, and the Red Sox could be dancing in October. That'd be great. I would love that. But realistically speaking here, someone's going to yell at me like you picked the White Sox to win the division, not the Red Sox to at least get into the wild card. That's fair. That I understand. But I think this is a stepping stone bridge year to something bigger in the future. I think it's a way more fun team than last year. I think the vibes are going to be considerably better. I think it's going to be a much more enjoyable year as a viewer. I just don't think they're all the way there yet. They could win 90 games. That is in the realm of possibility.
Sure is.
Things could also go to shit so quickly, though, especially with the pitching. If Kluber doesn't work out, if Sale has lost a little something, if the bullpen isn't as good as advertised, the improvements that is, it could be another long year. Could be. Or things could work out. Maybe they go on a magical run. I'm kind of in the middle there. I'll go 80 and 82. I think they'll be in the hunt for a good amount of the year, but I think they kind of tail off. But still an encouraging year from the Red Sox coming up. I will say that. So,
okay, encouraging is a fair word to use.
Fitz hates the Red Sox. You heard it.
You heard it here first, folks. That's
hate is not tolerated. This is terrible.
That's fair. This is how it all ends.
He really just hates the team.
It was a pleasure doing. But I'm being canceled now for my beliefs. It's been a blast. It's been a pleasure, folks. Lucy, 2 other wildcard teams. Do we have that?
Okay, AL, I'm going to go Houston and the Yankees.
You can't have Houston missing the playoffs. They've got to be in there. So.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe those City Connects just take them.
National League, let's shift over to there. Let's talk about the division winners in the NL East, Central, and West. Lucy, do you want to start us off there again?
Okay, NL Central, I have the Brewers. I just kind of like the Brewers. I'm like, what, the Brew Crew kind of there, but plus 175. And there's a little bit of value there because they are not favored. Mm-hmm. And then NL East, I have the Braves. Because I feel like I would have had the Mets if it wasn't for Edwin Diaz. That's just the piece of the puzzle that I'm like, the Mets, they could have been the oomph, and now they don't have that oomph. And so now I think the Braves will win the NL East, and then NL West, Padres. And this plays into my playoff narrative, to my batshit crazy thing.
I'm very excited to see how this split comes out. This is like an M. Night
Shyamalan
building here.
At the end, it's going to be like, it's not that, but it would be nice. It would just be nice, and it would be kind of crazy because it's
a Christopher Nolan thriller being built right now.
And the probability of this happening is like 0. So Padres plus 120 for the NL West.
All right, Jake here. His National League winners are East to West: Phillies, Cardinals, Padres. Phillies winning the East there. I know they just made it to the World Series. They clearly have, some juice in their overall outlook. I think a lot of people are going with either Atlanta or New York to win that division, myself included. Liam, are you the same, or are you riding with the Phillies? Or you might be riding with the Nationals. Who's to say? Do you got some attitude going
Marlins,
on?
Actually.
Yeah, the Fighting Fish? Yeah? what do you think?
I will credit to Jake because he knows ball. I have the same division winners: Philly, St. Louis, San Diego. So Philly as a little treat. St. Louis is an easy pick. San Diego, I just think they're a deeper team than the Dodgers this year for once.
Yeah, Dodgers kind of took a step back in terms of the depth, I feel. But again, they may just come out with some random guy who, again, Miguel Vargas could step into a role, be pivotal in that lineup by the time the All-Star break rolls around. Who's to say?
Make no mistake, the Dodgers are still a wild card team for me.
Yeah, Dodgers still make the wild card. So I've got the same. I've got Cardinals in the Central. I've got San Diego out West. I'll ride with the Mets in the East. I still think that's a deep team. And I think it's going to be an absolute fucking bar fight between those three teams. That's going to be a blast. That might be the top storyline going into the year in terms of, just how these teams are going to be playing out. It's going to be a blast watching the Braves, the Phillies, and the Mets duke it out. I think all three make it, but I think the Mets end up taking the divisional crown there. But again, that could go any one of three ways. Wouldn't surprise me if Philly makes it. Wildcard teams.
Okay, so I've got the Mets for National League and the Phillies, I'm going to say, and the Marlins.
Four teams.
Love
Not the
Marlins
Dodgers.
pick.
No Dodgers.
No Dodgers.
Wow.
No Dodgers.
Damn.
No. I'm going to say that. Maybe that's my batshit crazy thing, but that's number 2.
That could be part of it. Again, that's the twist
layered.
in the middle of the M. Night Shyamalan, right? No Walker Buehler this year, right?
Yeah, there you go.
He's going to be out, or at least for the majority of the year. Yeah. So I mean that's not going to help. Dustin May coming back though too. The flying tomato. He's pretty damn good.
Yeah, he's got a frisbee.
He most certainly does. Wild cards for Jake in the National League. He has got Mets, Braves, Doyers. He's riding with the Dodgers. Liam?
Same. Being boring, but Atlanta, New York, Dodgers. Those are my wild card teams. The National League is a lot. The picture is much clearer.
I think it's very top heavy. I think any of those 6 teams could come out. I think the one team that might be on the precipice there is Milwaukee. Like you mentioned, they have some good pitching. Brandon Woodruff, I almost considered putting in that Cy Young conversation. I just don't know if he's going to throw enough innings, but he's really, really good. And then obviously Corbin Burns has won the award. Guy's a freak. Devin Williams too, one of the best closers in baseball. But it's same with me. Boring as well in the wild cards. I got LA, I've got Atlanta, I've got Philly. It's just we ordered it a little bit differently, but basically the same, 6 teams or so, or 7 if you count Milwaukee in the conversation, like Lucy had them being the division winners. Just about the same teams involved in the mix, with the exception of the fucking credit to you for the Marlins.
I love it.
I had to throw
because they're bringing back the teal.
Yeah, I don't want any boring picks.
If they brought it back full time, Liam, like if they made those primaries,
then you'd be a believer.
I might see the vision there. I mean, Jesus Luzardo might win 20 games this year. I think Lucy might be onto something.
There you go.
Gene Segura might win MVP. You're right. So
if they bring back the didn't Creed write a song for them in 2003?
Of course, Scott Stapp, the lead singer of Creed.
Okay.
Yes.
Marlins will soar. I'll have you know. You didn't know this?
I gotta find
it's
this.
a class.
It's
a class.
Oh, Lucy, I'm gonna splice. I'm gonna make a note in here for my editing. Give me 1 second.
Please put that in here, because anything that I see Creed, I think Creed and Nickelback are totally overhated. I'm gonna say underrated.
Yeah,
but
love them
overhated.
both.
Love them both.
Creed's bad. Nickelback gets too much hate. Creed is bad.
Nickelback is so good.
Creed
I
is
would say
great. Get out of here.
Creed's fantastic too. Both of them are really just too much hate. I don't understand it.
I mean, to be fair, Creed did provide us with the moment that brought together a nation after tragedy, after 9/11.
Flying through the Marlins will soar. Talk about soaring.
Yeah, Johnny Sins flying through the air at Cowboy Stadium on Thanksgiving Day. I mean, it brings a tear to the eye of any grown man looking at that. That's what the founding fathers had in mind back in the day when they founded this nation of ours. So, all right, ALCS and NLCS picks. Lucy.
Okay, this dives further into my batshit.
Here we go.
We're getting closer, guys. We're getting closer. ALCS, Red Sox.
Oh, boy. I sure hope you're right.
NLCS.
Red Sox over who?
Oh, this is a good question. Ooh, who's it going to be in the end? Oh, my God. I don't know. I have to frame that. I have to do that framework.
Just pick one.
Okay, let me just, I'm going to say Red Sox over. Ooh, what if it was the Guardians?
Tito tries to exact his revenge, but no.
Let's say that. Okay, and the Padres NLCS over the Braves.
Padres Braves. All right. Very interesting. So Padres Red Sox in the World Series. Okay. Jake's World Series picks. He's got the Yankees over the Mariners in the ALCS. No Houston at all there. I mean, again, it's baseball. Anything can happen. He's going with the Subway Series, though. He's got the Mets over the Phillies, which that in the NLCS, my goodness gracious. If it's any of those two, NL East teams duking it out for the pennant. That's just gonna be funny one way or the other. Whoever wins or loses, that's just gonna be comedy. And then the third team that was left out is gonna start chirping a little bit, and then the loser is gonna say, "You didn't even make it this far." It's gonna again just NL East infighting. I'm here for it in 2023. So he's got a Subway Series Yankees Mets. Liam.
Ooh. So I did not pick losers for the championship series, but I can I'll call an audible here. ALCS, I have Toronto making the World Series. They're winning the pennant.
Oh.
I have them, I guess, over Houston. So Toronto over Houston, and I'll go Atlanta over St. Louis in the NLCS.
Cardinal Devil Magic always pokes its head. You know,
they're always there. They're always around, lurking.
That's the last team you want to, even if they only win like 89, 90 games, that's the last
team
you
want to
see
in the playoffs.
They're going to be well rested. Yeah, right, yeah. So who'd you have in the, you had Atlanta, did you say?
Yeah, I have Toronto and Atlanta in the World Series.
Toronto and Atlanta.
And that,
all right. That was the 91 series, right?
It was 91 or 92.
They played the Phillies in the other one, I think, right? I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yes,
point is,
correct. I think it was 92 and 93.
Or was it Cincinnati? I don't know. It's
no,
one of those teams.
Braves and Phillies.
Okay, all right. I know Phillies was one of them. I know that for a fact. That's the Joe Carter one. So ALCS for me, get ready to hit the snooze button. I just don't see how Houston doesn't do it again. Houston over Toronto.
I mean, that's the feasible pick.
Toronto will give them a series, I think. But I would say Houston. And then I have the Padres losing to the New York Metropolitans. I think it's Houston, Astros, Mets World Series. That is a pick for me.
You know
Moment of truth here for everybody.
What that is? It's electric.
It's very electric. Jesus Christ.
Queens
Verlander facing the old team, you know? So,
exactly.
Mets, Astros in the World Series. I wonder who Lucy's going to pick for the World Series champion here. I wonder.
Okay. So
Marlins.
This goes right into my batshit crazy thing. So
here it is. Bring it all in here.
The Red Sox win 7 games. Red Sox win the World Series. Rafael Devers, World Series MVP. He gets the World Series MVP trophy handed to him, named World Series MVP. Xander Bogaerts has to stand there, tips his cap to Devers, and they're old friends, and they hug, and they do that, the same hug, the goodbye hug that they did when it was the last game at Fenway. Chaim Bloom becomes president of the United States. And that's it. They win the World Series.
In there at the end.
I believe that.
If that Chaim Bloom team can win the World Series, this team that no one booed him and they didn't believe him for, and believe in him for this team, and then they absolutely trash him, and his name is dragged through the mud, and they win the World Series, and Xander Bogaerts, they lose to Xander Bogaerts, president of the United States.
And then that Linkin Park song that plays at the end of Transformers plays and the credits roll.
The 2023 World Series.
Yeah,
if it
I am writing
in
the script.
I only have one question about all that, Lucy.
Only one.
Who's Yeah, just the one. Is Chaim Bloom gonna do a primary challenge for Sleepy Joe? Is he running as a Republican?
No,
third
Joe
party?
Biden. No, it's an emergency press conference. Joe Biden's just like, you know what? This guy has achieved more than any president has ever done, and
he was just so moved.
Right, he has overcome more odds than anyone in the world in the history of the planet.
He reminds me of an old friend of mine named Cracker Jack back in the 50s. Cracker Jack loved the
I just came down for a second.
corn pop. That's what it was. Cracker Jack was a fan of the old the Whiz Kid 1952 Phillies. Robin Roberts. He was a big fan of that. Man.
That's my batshit crazy pick for the season.
Richie Ashburn, he was a big fan of him. And I said, guys, you got to get the vaccine. This Chaim Bloom fella. So. That's certainly a prediction, Lucy. I wonder what the odds on that. You should put a parlay on that.
Yeah, I would say a parlay, probably all the odds together, probably plus 12 million. But
I was gonna say put $1 on that, and you might be able to run for president yourself. Buy the Red Sox and launch your own presidential bid.
I think so.
I think that's feasible.
Yeah.
So Red Sox, listen. I hope that all comes to fruition. Although I don't know what Chaim Bloom's international
political
policies would be exactly right. Yeah, no, it's but shout out to Chaim. So no, Red Sox World Series. I'm down with that, Lucy. I'll ride with that at least for sure.
Red Sox. That's good.
That's right. Jake, his World Series. He's got the Mets over the Yankees. He's got the Mets exacting their revenge over the 2000 World Series. He's got the Mets on top over the Yankees as World Series champs. Queens rejoices. Liam, who's taking it all?
Atlanta over Toronto.
So. Atlanta over Toronto. Atlanta trying to build their resume.
Second in 3 years. So
trying to build a dynasty over
Freddie
there.
Freeman. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
What I got.
I have got the Mets as well. Mets over Houston.
Okay.
I'm believing in the Mets this year, man. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
So
You really
they're
are
going
with
to
the Mets and the White Sox.
The outrage, the World Baseball Classic outrage. They lose their closer, and they're gonna overcome that. They're gonna surpass all of that and win the World
Still a
Series.
good bullpen. Robinson's not bad. Ottavino's good.
But they did act like the world was ending and all was lost. But it would be a great story if they won the World Series.
And surely nothing can go wrong for the Mets. There's nothing I can
think. It never
think
does, you know.
Never.
So it's fine.
Never has, never
It'll
will.
be fine.
Oh, man. God, I'm so fucking excited for this. I can't wait to get all these picks wrong. I can't wait for the Royals to win the Central.
Mariners,
right? Yeah,
and the Marlins. These are my teams now. This is very exciting.
I will say, if the Marlins do surprisingly make a run as bottom feeders 2.0, you got to talk your shit all over the timeline. Pull this clip, flaunt it all over the place.
I'd be like, Big, see ya.
That's right, yeah.
Replacing you now?
I think that's only fair. If the Marlins do make the playoffs, I think Jake does have to get the heave-ho. Yeah. Jake, you've officially been put on watch, my friend. 6 months from now, you might be given the bootskaroo. Yep. So, Lucy, if people want to find you, if people want to hear more from you, where can they go?
Yes, Twitter and Instagram is Lucille Burge. TikTok is LucyBurge1. And then betql.com. So I write every day and host Back to the Futures every Sunday night. And then BetQL Daily Boost podcast wherever you get your podcast.
Did someone screw you on just at Lucy Burge or Lucille Burge on TikTok?
Here's what happened. I made 2 accounts. And I forgot the password to the first one. I even uploaded, I uploaded videos to this and then didn't use it for a year maybe. And then I just forgot it can't find it anywhere. I don't know what happened it's a ghost account. I don't know what happened. So it's gone and I can't log back in. So I had to create a new one with a different name. So I stole my own account.
You pulled your own IP.
Bitch. What a bitch I am. Well, the Lucy Burge one was the TikTok. So then Lucille Burge, yes, Lucy Burge is taken, which I reported that account, blocked them and reported so that gets taken down. So I get
dirty.
Years ago, so it never happened.
Game is the game. Hey, and if that High and Bloom bet hits on the $1, you could go to the owner of at Lucille Burge on TikTok and pay him some money. Pay me price. I want that handle.
Yeah,
it would all be worth it at the end if that's the handle. So
it would be. That's what I do.
Again, Lucy, thanks so much for taking some time out of your day to talk with us. We really appreciate it. And we'd love to have you back on, maybe a mid-season. We could do all right, how are you feeling about your predictions? Do you want to ride with it? Something like that. We could do something like that down the line.
It'd be fun until then.
That would be amazing. I can't wait to come back on and gloat about how well my predictions are doing.
Yes, and we will have you. We will definitely have you back on. Hopefully not as the first Red Sox podcast that you've ever been on.
Right, exactly, right? No, but now it is. So thank you for that honor.
Absolutely.
And thank you very much.
Just make sure.